Warhol, everybody. This is what he looks like, for those of you who don't know.
Okay, and what is his most famous quotation?
We got it right here. In the future,
everyone will be famous for 15 minutes.
Right. And Andy Warhol's like, I'm bored with that. I never use that anymore.
And Andy Warhol said, my new line is, in 15 minutes, everybody's gonna be famous.
Hi. That's right now, you guys.
This is Warholism.
Right there. We're there right now. Not in 15 minutes. Everyone's famous right now. You can have your own TV show.
Your own
music
Twitter.
video. Twitter.
Yeah. Your
Warholism. Absolutely.
Warholism. But first, it's cocktail time.
It's cocktail time, you guys. You need a drink if you're going to be watching this for an hour with us. So bust it out.
Okay. So, cocktail time. We're having the Andy Warhol tonight. That includes banana liquor. Banana liquor. It also includes blackberry flavored brandy, a little Bacardi rum, and a little dark Myers rum.
Here we go. If you guys want to write that down.
Mixed with Diet Sunkist.
That's right. That's called the Andy Warhol. That's what we're drinking tonight.
So cheers to Andy Warhol.
Cheers. You guys want to write that down?
Ah!
Join us. Pretty good.
It's poppy.
And banana-y.
Okay. So let's begin.
Let's talk about Andy Warhol. What's he famous for? What's his background?
Well, he's famous for a lot of things, right? And I'm sure we know a lot of what he's famous for. The Campbell Soup can, and we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
As well as the banana, which we'll explain in a little bit. Hence the banana flavored liquor. Okay.
Andy Warhol.
So, on August 6th, 1928, Andrew Warhola is born.
Right.
His parents, Andra Warhola and Julia Zaskari Warhola, were immigrants from Nikovia in northeastern Slovakia.
Right.
And they eventually moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where his father worked as a construction worker and later a coal miner. They raised their kids.
So they were well off people at all. They were middle class people. They were struggling in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, middle class people, good hardworking
people. Yeah.
They raised their kids Byzantine Catholic and attended the St. John Byzantine Catholic Church.
There we go. He was baptized. We've got his birth certificate or his baptism certificate right there. We've got to go back to our playlist, everybody, so bear with us. No, I don't think that's on the playlist, Cameron Joby.
It's not. Come right in. We're going to get there in 1 second.
All right, so we know that Andy Warhol was raised Byzantine Catholic. We've got his baptism certificate right here. Bear with us while we get a playlist going on.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, here we go.
And then in the 3rd grade, at the age of 8, Andy came down with rheumatic fever.
Yeah, and this definitely was a huge, this was a huge milestone in his life, basically.
Okay, and 1928, at the age of 8, that's only, what, 1936?
Right.
So,
yeah,
antibiotics didn't even exist yet, okay?
Exactly, they weren't around.
So, his fever, his rheumatic fever progressed to, chorea?
Chorea? This hideous looking thing.
We're not laughing at the disease.
No, we're not laughing at this.
Pittis dance.
Right.
And it's an illness of the nervous system.
Right. It makes you shake, and it gives you this awful skin. Which
very spotty, and made his arms and legs shake uncontrollably.
He's 8 years old, and so he can't be at school. He's not making friends with people. He's stuck in school.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got Andy in bed when he's 8 years old.
And so then his whole life he had skin problems. Poor guy.
He was plagued with blotchy skin, and he definitely is thinking it's because of this scarlet fever that he had. But while he was there in bed with his mom for a long time, when he was 8 years old, he starts collecting all of these celebrity photos, and he's drawing, he's listening to the music, and he basically says this impacted his life.
Huge influence on his life. He got very much into basically what was popular at the time.
Absolutely.
pop art.
Right.
But it wasn't art yet, guys. It wasn't art yet.
Right.
Okay.
So he's basically an outcast. He has no friends. He's got blotchy skin. He's collecting celebrity photos and getting into. He's creating an internal world again.
And then, at the age of 14, Andy's father, Andrzej, died of jaundiced liver.
He died.
And so then some speculated this was due to excessive drinking. Some thought it was due to a gallbladder being removed some years before. And Andy's mother attributed his death to drinking poison water at a construction site in Virginia.
Yeah, which
I mean, he was a coal miner.
That's what I think. I think it's definitely bad air and bad water.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a combo that definitely makes you ill.
Anyway, Andy didn't attend the funeral. Instead, he hid upstairs in his bed. So we don't blame you, Andy.
I don't blame you. Look at that cute little kid under there. Okay, so on to Andy's education. Cameron, where did he go to school?
Andy attended Holmes Skelny High School and then off to Carnegie Institute of Technology, where he obtained his Bachelor of Fine Arts in Pictorial Design. So he's really like a graphic artist.
Right.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
And then after he graduated in 1949, Andy dropped the A from his name Warhol, and he and his friend Philip Pearlstein moved to Manhattan and subleased an 8th floor walk-up. That's a big walk-up, 8 floors.
It sure is.
Which was described, the bathtub was in the kitchen, and it was usually full of roaches, incredible roaches.
Right, and I'm sure it was really expensive, too.
In New York?
Absolutely. We love Chicago.
Okay.
So a few months later, the roommates move into a loft on the West 23rd Street. And this is the best. Andy sends out these change of address cards.
Filled with glitter?
Filled with glitter, yeah. And he's like, I've moved from one roach-ridden apartment to another. So I think he has a sense of humor. A little bit.
So while he's in New York, he's working as a commercial artist. And he's dabbling in different ventures, such as advertising for major magazines, such as Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, doing album covers for Columbia Records, designing Christmas card book jackets, and retail ad campaigns. So most notably, the most notable one is this right here. It's the famous shoe ads, usually a stylish, bloody line.
Well, this is where he was getting all of his money. He was getting, $50,000 for one account.
One account.
Right.
So he was very successful in his career as a graphic designer.
And I think we left out, Cameron, you see that he met, I think, is it the editor of a magazine, Glamour magazine?
No, not Glamour. It was Harper's Bazaar.
Okay. Well, he met an editor of a magazine, so he kind of got into the world of advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
And so he did really well with these advertisements, the shoe advertisements. He actually won an award for I. Miller's shoes.
Yes. Okay. And then in the 1950s, he got an apartment on the East Side, East 75th Street. And after recruiting his mother's help with the work, she moved in with him. So he obviously had a very close relationship with his mother.
Yeah. And he, again, that goes back to when he was sick.
Yeah, right.
And his